Join me for this back reviving class. Bring yourself onto your mat and bring your knees into chest for a knee hug. Just let the back of the head rest happily on the mat or on your cushion. Fold the knees in. Allow your lower back to soften down towards the mat. And then just gradually allow your head to roll from side to side. And while we're here, we'll take 5 just steady breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Just moving your head from side to side and folding the thighs fairly close to your chest. Not over gripping the shins. And we'll bring our head back to the centre after our last little neck release. As your head comes back to the centre, fold the legs in a little closer, nod your chin to chest and bring your nose towards your knees. Allow your head to rest back down to the mat. Place your right foot on the floor, fold your left thigh in a little closer and then stretch out your right leg. Take time to allow the leg to lengthen, maybe keeping the lower back on the mat. And take a couple of breaths, stretching out the right leg, folding in your left leg. And then when we've done that, we'll switch sides. Can we fold in the right, put the left foot down and stretch out the left leg across your mat. Again, see if you can stretch out the left leg, still folding the right leg in and relaxing the shoulders as much as we can. As we put both feet to the floor, take the arms a little wider, bring the legs together. Inhale, and as you exhale, take both legs over to the right side. Inhale back to centre and exhale over to the other side. We can make this quite small, quite gentle move. And just allowing the back to start to loosen up just a little bit. Using the breath to help with the movement, inhaling and exhaling. Good. We'll try that, maybe making it a little bit bigger each time. If that's comfortable for the back, just to allow a little bit more movement. But again, just coming back to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling over. Inhaling to the centre and exhaling over to the other side. Just enjoy that. We come back to our start position. Leave the right foot on the floor. Let your lower back imprint to the mat. Hold behind your left thigh and extend the leg. Take a breath in and a breath out as we stretch the leg up. See if you can keep your tailbone, your coccyx on the mat. Can you keep your lower back fairly still? Take time to breathe in and then breathe out to stretch the leg up to the ceiling. Yeah. And if we're spending a little bit extra time in the garden, then this is quite a nice sequence to do just to get the back feeling a little bit more stretched and healthy. Good, there's our last one. Inhale and exhale, and then we'll put the foot back to the floor. See if we can imprint the back, bring the other leg in, and again we can inhale and exhale the leg up. Find the stretch down the back of your leg. Just notice that lengthening, that stretching, especially if you've been kneeling or sitting quite a bit. We'll do that again twice more. Breath in and breath out. Finding the stretch, finding the length in the back of the leg. Good. And then we'll put both feet to the floor. We'll bring the feet to hip width and then find a little bit of space between the lower back and the mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, imprint your lower back to the mat. And then just releasing and relaxing. So we can exhale to imprint and inhale to recover. See if we can do that without too much gripping of the thighs or the glute muscles. Can we imprint the back and then release? We want to allow the back to imprint rather than pushing it into the mat. So we can just softly rock back towards the mat and then release. If your back feels okay and that movement feels okay, try a little bit of an extension as well. So we can imprint the back, let the back rest, and then maybe move the lower back a little bit away, arching the back away from the mat. And if that's too much, then stay with the imprint. We can inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale as we imprint the back lightly. Good, inhaling and exhaling. Good, here comes our last time. Inhaling and exhaling to imprint. And then bring yourself back to the start. Good, from here we'll raise both arms up. Stretch the arms over your head. Reach the arms away from you. Good, then stretch the legs out. Lengthen the legs to the end of your mat. Can you reach through the fingertips and reach all the way through to the toes? And if the back arches and that feels comfortable, then fine. If you prefer, you can keep your lower back closer to the mat. When you're ready, the arms come up to the ceiling and we can bring our feet back to our start position. 5-point shoulder bridge. So it's going to take us 5 times before we come up into our full bridge. Imprint the lower back to the mat and take a breath in. So that's our pelvic tilt. And then as we exhale, we release back to that subtle space between your lower back and the mat. We'll do that again. So we'll imprint the back, and this time lift your hips a fraction off the ground so that all that's lifted is your lower back. Yeah, so your tailbone and your lower back. And then we lay the back down, just gradually coming back to our start. So we'll try that again. So we can take a breath in, and as we exhale, we can imprint, lift the tailbone, and then lift maybe to the bottom of the ribs. So just notice you've lifted a little bit higher. Inhale and exhale to slowly roll the spine back down. Let's see if we can go a little bit higher again. So we can imprint the back and gradually lift the spine, lift to the bottom of the ribs, and then maybe to the bra line. Yeah? Good. And then coming all the way back down again. Good. So can we take a breath in? Can we exhale to imprint the lower back, lift tiny bit to the bottom of the ribs, to the bra line, and then maybe to the tips of the shoulder blades. Can we gradually inhale and exhale to come all the way back down with control? And notice you'll be using those abdominal muscles, maybe our pelvic floor muscles as we go. So then our last time brings us all the way up, imprinting the lower back, maybe to the waistband, maybe to the lower part of the ribs, the bra line, the bottom of the shoulders, that might be enough. Or we're heading up to the back of the shoulder. We come into our bridge position. We can have a little turn of the head, maybe side to side, and then gradually come back down. Inhaling and exhaling as we peel all the way back down to our bridge. We could have a little movement around, and then we'll do 2 more bridges just in a flowing movement. Imprinting, inhaling and exhaling as you enjoy that bridge up onto the shoulders, or a little bit lower if you know that's better for your back. And coming back down and back to the start. Take your time. Imprint the back on the inhale, ground the feet, use the arms as support, exhaling as we come up into our bridge. Have a little moment's pause before we come back down, working on getting each piece of the spine down at a time. Go. And then when you're ready, bring both knees into chest. Give the knees a hug. Good. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. Bring the hands behind the thighs and then rock ourselves up to our seated position. Find your seated position on your block, your cushion, or just on the mat. Stretch out both legs, maybe keeping the knees slightly soft. Nod your chin to chest and stretch forward into a gentle spine stretch, just reviving the back here. Take a breath in, and as we breathe out, we'll gradually come back to our start. Can we put both feet to the floor and then turning the body to one side, hand on the shin or the calf, and look back over the shoulder on that same side. Come back to the central position and exactly the same on the other side. So rotating round, have the hand for support and then have a little peek over your shoulder there. Come back to your start position and then spin yourself round onto all fours. Once you've found your 4-point kneeling, maybe with the feet flat to the floor or even the toes tucked, take a breath in. On the outward breath, coming into our cat stretch, can we round the back? Can we tuck the chin to chest? Arch the back up to the ceiling, looking between the thighs. And then on your next breath, just gradually coming back to your start. Can we inhale at the central position and exhale your tailbone up, your chest down and your head up. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, come back to your start position. We'll do that twice more. Inhaling, and as we exhale, can we firm up the hands? Can we round the back up to the sky on that exhale? Can we inhale back to our start? Ready to exhale your tailbone up, your chest down and your head up. If you were taking a little bit more care of the back, you would stay just with your cat stretch. So you'd stay with this part of the movement rather than taking it through to that full stretch or extension of the back. There's our last one. When you're ready, come back to your start position. And then take your right hand into thread of the needle. We're going to move fairly smoothly here. The hand stretches under the chest, the palm facing up, your shoulder softens down to the ground, gradually coming back to your start. Opposite direction, we can exhale through to the opposite side. Notice the back of the shoulder lowers, maybe the side of your head, and then gradually unwinding back to our start position. We can inhale to the centre and exhale as we stretch. We can inhale through to the centre and exhale to recover. Inhale again and exhale as we stretch to thread of the needle. Can we lower the shoulder, lower the side of the head? Inhale and exhale back to our start. One more time each side. See if we keep the length through the spine. Can we keep the distance from the ear to the shoulder? And always thinking about your head being away from the shoulders rather than letting ourselves round. So can we keep the length through the spine as we twist? Coming back to our start position, let's separate the knees, bring the toes together and sit our bottoms back towards the heels. And as we do that, we can stretch the arms out ahead of us to give not only the lower back, but the middle back and the upper back a really good stretch. Can we let the forehead rest on the mat very lightly, so no pressure. And remember, you can always bring your elbows back if you want to. Yeah, so we can sit the bottom back towards the heels and reach the fingertips towards the ends of the mat. And here we relax with 5 easy breaths, just 5 gentle breaths. And with the breath, we're allowing the back to relax. And stretch. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring yourself slowly up to 4-point kneeling. Bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. We're going to bring ourselves up to standing, and just for a little sequence of roll downs. So we can walk the hands back to the feet, lift the heels, and bring the hands back towards the feet, and then take that gradual roll up. Again, just taking your time. Absolutely fine to have the hands on the knees and the knees bent. And bring ourselves to our upright position. From here, we can bring our feet into hip width. Gaze forward, take a breath in and raise both arms up to the ceiling and stretch up. And as we stretch up, bring the palms together And see if you can look up towards your thumbs just for a moment. Let your arms relax and come back to the start position. Tuck your chin to chest and then bring your gaze forward again. Have a look up to the ceiling and let your fingertips just lengthen down to the ground. Take a breath in as you nod your chin to chest. As you exhale, can you reach the fingertips to the ground and raise your gaze up to the sky? One more time. Can we nod the chin to chest on the inhale? And as you exhale, can you lift your gaze, reach the fingertips down to the ground and look up to the sky? This time, as we nod the chin to chest on the inhale, can we exhale, firm up the feet, soften the knees and roll down. Let your head just hang, let the shoulders relax. And again, just like we did with the shoulder bridge, can we allow the back to gradually travel forward towards the mat? From here, can we take a breath in and start with the movement, tucking the tailbone under. On the exhale, can we rebuild slowly? Again, come back to the feet being firm on the mat. And see if we can sequentially rebuild and restack your spine. Take the hands into the lower back. Have a little bit of firmness around the glutes and your thighs. Lift your chest. Draw the elbows slightly back and look up to the ceiling again, opening your chest and front of the shoulder. As we release the arms, we nod the chin to chest on the inhale. And as we exhale, we round again. We might need an extra breath this time. Again, we could soften the knees or we could have the legs a little bit straighter. Can you peel down towards the ground? And on your inhale, can we start to come back up? Inhaling and exhaling as we rebuild and restack the back. Once more, we take the hands into the lower back. We can again firm up the buttocks and the thighs. Draw the elbows back, lift your gaze and just support the lower back with the thumbs and the hands. Good. As we inhale, we can exhale back, just releasing the arms. One last time. Nod the chin on your next in-breath and on your out-breath, just gradually leading with the crown of your head. Can we roll ourselves down? When we've gone as far as feels comfortable for the back, can we sway the arms over lightly to the right side so the body moves to the right? Inhale and exhale as you bring the arms over to the left side. Can we try that just one more time each side? Inhaling and exhaling. As we come back to the centre, inhale, and as we exhale, tuck the tailbone again and take your time to gradually unravel. Working through each piece of the back, bring ourselves back to our start. As we raise the arms up this time, we can interlace the fingers, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, stretch up, letting the shoulders come with you, and have a look up to the sky. As we release the arms down, we can nod the chin to chest one more time. Take that steady roll down. This time we're going to bend the knees, and as the hands come down to the ground, we'll walk ourselves out across the mat. Again, we'll find our knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders, the length through the spine. Swimming exercise here in 4-point kneeling. Inhale the length, crown to tailbone. Exhale your right arm and your left leg out to our swimming position. And then just take a pause here. Can we lower the arm and leg and then lift the arm and leg? Just noticing the whole back of your body doing some work. Can we inhale the fingertips and toes down to the ground and exhale the fingers and toes up, level with the shoulder and the hip. One more time. Can we inhale and exhale? Take a pause at the top. Keep the length through the back of the neck, the firmness in the supporting arm, maybe a little bit of length from the fingertips to the toes, and then gradually bring the hand and the knee back to the start. From here, we'll separate the knees, bring the toes together, And then sit the bottom back and take both hands over to the left side. So your right hand rests on top of your left wrist or hand. And sit your bottom back, finding the stretch down the right side of the body. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhaling wide and full into the right side of the body. Our last time. And as we come back to the central position, we'll bring ourselves back to full point kneeling. Our hands under the shoulders and our knees under the hips. Good, when you're ready, left hand and right leg. Left arm and right leg, lengthening the leg, stretch, lengthen and reach. Again, we're looking down towards the mat. Good, and then from here, we're tapping the toe down to the ground and we're allowing the arm and leg to lift. So we can inhale to the ground, exhale as we lengthen and lift. Inhale, toes and fingers to the ground. Exhale, lengthen and lift. Good, for our last time, tap the fingers and toes. Lengthen and lift and stay. Maybe a little bit of length through the front of the foot, through the fingertips. And then gradually come down. Separate the knees, bringing the toes together. Sit the bottom back, and this time take both hands over to the right side, bringing your left hand to sit on the top of your right. Allow the sit bones to sit back towards the heels, and notice that opening through the side of the body, the left side of the body. A couple more breaths. Inhale and exhale. As we bring ourselves back to the central position, we'll bring ourselves onto our forearms and then stretch back just into our little Sphinx pose. The elbows under the shoulder and our gaze ahead. Notice we've got the space between the ears and the shoulders, and the legs stretch out behind you. Sending your breastbone forward and having a little bit of firmness around the centre. So maybe using our pelvic floor connection. Maybe using a light connection of our navel to spine. Good. When you're ready, the elbows widen and our chest comes down to the mat. We bring ourselves into swan, so checking the legs are in parallel. Inhaling as we lift our chest and exhaling as we lengthen out, crown away from the tailbone. Inhale, and as you exhale, come back to your start position, relaxing your shoulders. We can inhale to come up and exhale to create that length through the whole of your back. Inhaling and exhaling to come back down. So we're thinking of a stretch across the front of the body, but also thinking about the strength through the back of the body. Inhaling and exhaling as we come back to our start. If the back feels comfortable and we want a little bit extra work, this time we come up on the inhale, and on your exhale, your left leg lengthens and lifts. Now we're keeping the hip in the same position. Inhale and exhale as you come back to your start. Good, so we can inhale, lengthening to lift to swan, and exhale the right leg, high enough to feel the glute muscles, the buttock muscles. Inhale and exhale as you lengthen back to your start, relaxing your shoulders as you come down. We can inhale back to up to swan, and exhale as we lengthen and lift the left leg. Inhale and exhale as we lengthen back to our start position. Here comes our last time. Can we come up to swan on the inhale and exhale to lengthen and lift the right leg. Inhale, and as we exhale, come down to our start position. Our last little bit here, we can inhale to lift the chest. We can exhale to lift both arms, just to hover. That might be too much, so you may just lift a little bit Yeah, or maybe even just the elbows, or maybe even just the palms. Inhale and exhale to come back to the start. We've got one more to do of those. Inhale to swan, exhale either palms or elbows, or the palms and the elbows and the forearm lifts. Yeah, we lower the arms down and we lengthen back to the mat and allow the shoulders to relax. Take your hands under your shoulders, push yourself all the way up, keeping the thighs together. Can you sit the bottom back, fold the arms so that you're resting your forehead on your forearms, and sit your bottom back over your heels, just to stretch out the back. One more time. Allow yourself to relax here. Just a couple more breaths. As we unfold the arms, we'll bring ourselves up to kneeling. Maybe we need a cushion under the knee. Place a cushion or a little towel under the left knee. Stride forward with the right leg, and we'll bring ourselves to our hip flexor stretch. If we tuck the back toes, that can help support the knee as well. And your front knee is over the ankle. And we can stay here for a good 5 breaths to really notice that stretch through the front of the thigh, opening the hips as we do that. We can use the wall, we could use a chair for a little bit of support if we wanted. Let's have another couple of breaths here. Good. As we come back to kneeling, can we swap the cushion over if we need to use that, or our towel? Place that under the right knee, and then take your left leg forward. Big stride forward, back toes tuck, front knee comes forward so the hips come slightly forward, and we can rest the hand lightly on the hip as we do that, on the front thigh as we do that. Good, and again we can have 5 breaths, really having that sense of opening up through the right front of thigh and hip. Keeping your shoulders over your hips and our gaze ahead. Think of the length up through the crown of the head. Our last breath. Good. And as we bring the hands down, we can bring ourselves for the last time into a wide knee child pose. Just to sit the bottom back one last time. Stretch out the arms one last time and rest your forehead on the mat. And our breath's going to go wide into the ribs and the back, wide into the front of the body and the back of the body. And notice a sense of opening into the glute muscles, the back of the hips, maybe even the inner thighs. Maybe notice the hamstrings as well. And our last breath. And gradually slide the hands in towards your knees. Unwind your body. Bring the knees in. Thank you for joining me.